The government policies also will affect human capacity in the sense that if the government has strategic plans to recruit. A few weeks ago, we learned the federal government was going to recruit 20,000 or so policemen. That's going to take 20,000 people out of the labor market or unemployment market. And what it means is it's going to cost across. You're going to have some graduates, some diploma holders, and some secondary school graduates among them. So what it means is we're increasing the usage of human capacity. And the moment they are absorbed into corporations, they begin to receive trainings. The first thing they do is undergo some basic trainings and then advanced trainings, which invariably improve human capacity. The last one I have here is the general paradigm of the society. If a particular society has a developmental orientation, if we have a goal-minded set of young people or individuals, let me give you an example. In China, we hear that almost every home has a factory, that virtually every home develops or produces something. What it means is each home, from the time they have their babies, they train them with the paradigm to become productive. If that is not happening in our nation, what it means is we're going to churn out people who are going to be depending on government or
for virtually everything,
private company for employment. Meanwhile, they are training their people to be self-sufficient and be entrepreneurs right from childhood. So that paradigm is going to affect human capacity orientation a lot. I hope that answers your question.
Okay. The second one?
The second one is about federal government borrowings. Recently, the federal government, the president sent a bill to the House of Assembly for assent to borrow $4 billion and about 710 million euro to buffet infrastructural development and going concern in the nation. Now, borrowing in itself is not a minus.
Sure.
In any situation, especially after such pandemics as coronavirus, the government needs to come out of debt by borrowing to fund infrastructure development. Because invariably, infrastructure development will provide opportunities for the private sector to be able to develop. It gives them platform for good roads, for transportation. We know how important it is to have good roads, water available, power for production available. And whenever the government borrows and tries to do projects, we're taking people out of the unemployment market. In other words, we're recruiting human capacity or human resources to to utilize this fund. So when the government borrows, if these borrowings are well implemented, the chain reaction is that we have a better society.
Where the question lies is implementation.
Exactly.
Because where implemented, I don't see any reason. It's not bad for them to borrow. Because any businessman that really wants your business to thrive need to borrow.
Of course.
You cannot depend on your own personal small savings.
You can.
So if you want to expand, if you want to scale up your business, business entity, you must borrow
in
to
fact,
do that.
In management, the principle is the best money or fund to use for business is other people's money.
Exactly.
That's why you borrow from banks, because they house other people's money. Okay, so it's not a bad thing for the government to borrow, but implementation must be adequate and must be monitored to perform exactly the purpose. And accountability is very key also for the stakeholders. The last question here talks about harnessing the power of youth in human capacity.
Human capital,
Human capital.
Yeah.
Now, the power of youth, you know we can't overstate it in any part of the world.
Yeah.
Youth is some age that begins from about 15, 16 to up to 40 years of, of life. And that is the most productive part of life. If we can harness the power of a present-day youth in a country like Nigeria, I can assure you that GDP, which is the main agent of measurement, will skyrocket in a nation like this.
Honestly.
What it means is that we can get young people, whether they went to Western education or they went through apprenticeship to learn skills, or on their own they decide to develop, become entrepreneurs, go into farming or go into fishery and do all kinds of production on their own. Whichever form they become productive will impact the productivity of the nation. It will impact the sufficiency of basic amenities.
Definitely.
The first is feeding. Food will be available because we will have people who are into farming and producing the materials we need for body force.
Because they have the energy and strength to do anything.
They have the energy. They have the intelligence.
Exactly.
They have the passion. And they have the future to look forward to. So because they have all these factors that are begging them to go and perform, if they're well channeled, productivity will go out of the roof. And that's the fact. So in my own opinion, the most unharvested part of this country is not what the National Assembly is either doing or not doing, or the executive bodies are doing or not doing, but what we are not doing with the youth. I said it. It's not about the formal education we went through. No. It is about their paradigm, shifting it towards productivity.
Yes.
If that is well channeled, we will be celebrating this country as the giant of Africa one more time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I think this is one of the reasons why we treat specific, topics here, so that those who have ears will hear, as the Bible says. We have dealt a lot of topics here to see how our government and those who are in authority to liberate our youths and make good use of them, by creating jobs and giving them the enabling, environment to, showcase their talent, because they are really talented.
Exactly.
Most of our youth are talented.
Exactly.
And so I just hope that those who are still watching it, if you're in the position, please see what we can do, because it will really raise or whatever we're going to achieve in the country. So let them hear, and let our youth also try on your own, not to depend solely on what government will do. Don't depend solely on them now, because the job is not there, but you have talents, you are intelligent, you are creative, you are innovative. So use that. Instead of bringing with your phone and doing something wrong, you can use your phone and do so many things now to help yourself, not doing anything against the law of the land because you go in for it. But you can do a lot of things with your phone. You can do a lot of things with creativity. I just mentioned somebody created this now to, wash your leg now, because you need to wash your hand for some seconds. If instead of touching and only now, you use leg and pedal it, that kind of a thing. So we have you. So come up again and in your own creativity, and God will really help and assist you. I have an arm here too, whereas I do that SC, which is a Healing Support Initiative, and we have impacted the lives of so many youths as well. Great. And we will not relent. Though we don't have any support per se from the public, corporate bodies, but we are struggling to ensure that we part in the lives of our youth, because I believe so much in the youths. Maybe because I have 5 children, youths in my house. I believe so much in the youths because I know what they can do. So let the elderly one not just look down on them and just feel that they are not. They are really, really useful. They are even the highest too in terms of population. That's right. They are also one of the. So we really need youths to do a lot of things. Thank you so much. We'll take a break now. Vivid View.